What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Beatbox video series. Today, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and the current bull market. It's been over 2 months since I recorded one of the episodes from the video series, and for good reason. So, I'm gonna go back to my last video. It was called Decision Time is Here and 5 Reasons for Bitcoin's Resolution to Happen Now. And you can see here in the thumbnail, you had this long range from March all the way to October. And basically, if I had to do a summary for the video, you can see it here. So the first reason is that I don't see BTC holding this range for too long or any longer. I think the resolution is coming. My bias is that it's coming within October, but I don't see it going any longer than November, to be honest. So it's just first reason is a strong one, longest range. Something's gotta give, and I think it's gonna give soon. Okay, chat, and we can see here the chart back then didn't look anything that what it's looking now. I did that video like at around here, I think, on early October. And if you can go back to that video and see the 5 reasons, but we don't care anymore since we got the resolution. And what we're gonna be talking about today, Chad, will be for the bull market that we're in, where it could be going, what are some daily time frame targets, what are some longer term targets. But before diving in, please smash that like button. Recommend the stream, the videos on my channel to your friends and your other Discord servers. And yeah, and I appreciate the support as always. So we have here BTC on the daily. we're going to start talking about some potential local corrections that might be coming in the near future. You have here BTC doing some vertical accumulation. As you can see, this bullish chop. If you're a regular audience on my streams, you know that we've been talking about this price action resembling somewhat of the price action of November and December of last year. So that's basically what's been happening. So short-term targets to the upside, you have here the P cycle top indicator. It's not even close to crossing right now, but you do have some supply above head at 127K right now. So you can see here in March how it was regarded as resistance here on at around 70K. You actually could not break it, and then you sold off and went into the lower EMA here of the P cycle top indicator to look for support, and then of course you had a nasty 8-month range. So I think that if you shoot up here, just like within December into like somewhat of a Christmas rally, then I think that you might have some overhead resistance at around 130K, given the fact that you have this this P-cycle top indicator above here, right? You can see something like that happen also in 2016, since this cycle is more similar to that one. I reckon. You can see here it was regarded as resistance like 2 to 3 times before the definitive breakout, and you just used it as resistance once. So maybe we sell off if we go against 130 and then we come back down and then we go for the parabolic run, or it could be the chance that you have a small sell-off against it and then you go into a local blow-off top either way, and then you come back down into the orange EMA and just you continue higher into the parabolic run that will basically conclude the cycle. So just on a on a short-term horizon, you could get somewhat of a sell-off at 130 if you get there too quick. Maybe if you hold the lows, then you'll get like some kind of a blow-off top above the green EMA, and then come back down, use the orange EMA as support, and then continue, on another blow-off top into the end of the cycle. Since we're talking about the end of the cycle, let's throw some fib extensions to the upside so we can see what could happen this cycle if it's going to play out somewhat similar to what it did on 2020, 2021, or 2017. So you're just at the 1618 here from this macro top to bottom. You can see how it's been acting as resistance for a few days now, 101k, like actually to a T. But if it's going to play out anything like the similar cycles, you'll be looking at the 3618 at around 210k right now, 207,000 bucks for a macro cycle top. You did that here on 2021 and 2020, and you actually exceeded it on 2016 and and 2017. So at least if it's gonna give the same return regarding Fibonacci like the prior cycle, you could be looking at a 200k top for BTC at the end of the cycle. So first, a Fibonacci major level hit. Your next one, it's the 2618 at 154, and then hopefully we get a cycle top at around 207k here at the 3618. All right. Let's talk about the 9-day time frame, which is something I also touched upon my previous video because of the Bollinger Band setup, that we talked about there. I'm gonna turn on the Bollinger Bands. So what we were watching for on that video was this compression and volatility, right, on the 9-day time frame. Like you had a breakout on the Bollinger Bands here on early 2024 in March. Then this long range where you had a significant decrease in volatility in BTC, which led into this tight compression on the Bollinger Bands. And after two failed attempts to have a breakdown and you held the lower bands as support, is when you finally started moving into that breakout of the Bollinger Bands, of this compression, and now you're in the expansion, in the volatility phase of the setup. For now, the 9-day just flipped green today. You're back up outside of the Bollinger Bands. This will be closing in 5 more days, chat. So as long as you're getting 9-day closes outside of the bands, then I think that you're just going to continue going up on a straight line. You can see prior cycles for reference. Look at 2020 here, all the 9-day closes that you had outside of the bands. Then you go back inside of the bands, and this is usually a sign of a potential, distribution or maybe some kind of a choppiness that might come to the market. But then it got immediately invalidated, and you continued higher into a few more, 9-day closes outside of the bands. But then ultimately, when you go back inside of the bands and you fail to have immediate continuation, is when you finally had that somewhat distribution, that sideways price action, which led into a strong pullback on the macro time frame here for BTC. So I expect this to play out somewhat similar as long as the 9 days printing closes outside of the band, as long as you get continue to get 9-day closes outside of the bands, then I reckon it's going to continue going vertical, just like you did here in 2020, 2021. If you get back inside of the bands, then the first red candle won't be a big concern right away. But if in the following candle after the red one, you don't get immediate price action just like you did here, then it could be a sign of potentially the market cooling off and going into some kind of a pullback, or maybe like a higher low, micro higher low on the 9-day time frame. And you can see here you're printing strong positive momentum on the MACD histogram, highest momentum you've seen on the 9-day time frame on the MACD. You're at the 77 point level on the RSI, so you're overbought, but you're in the bullish control zone, and this could continue going higher. Maybe you do something like what you did here on 2016, 2017, where you had this pullbacks on the 9-day, but ultimately you just went into a crazy blow off top. You can see here the 9-day. Also back then, right? You had a breakout on the 9-day, got outside of the bands. Then when you came back inside, you had a pullback. Same thing here, and then I wonder where somewhere like around here, because you had all-time highs here, exactly to where we are right now, an all-time highs, and then when you got a close back inside of the bands, you had a pullback, then had some kind of higher low, then continued higher. Then when you had a close back inside of the bands, you had a pullback. Same thing could be argued here. These are just tiny pullbacks into this massive blow off top, which ultimately, when you got back inside of on the Bollinger Bands, it was definitely over. You didn't catch immediate follow through, and this was the sign for taking profits or potentially exiting above here and not taking too long, because in here it just took like 4 candles, at around a month of price action. And here it gave you a little bit more of time. It took like 5 to 6 candles before the big reversal. But you just know that when the 9-day it's back inside of the bands, at least this is my opinion. When the 9-day is back inside of the bands and losing steam, starting to go sideways, and everyone's still euphoric, everyone's expecting for the next leg higher, which doesn't come immediately. I reckon we could get some kind of pullback, right? Just like what you did here on this local blow off tops on BTC. And yeah, we'll see if on that case if that higher low holds or not whenever it comes. But like I was just saying, I don't expect it to come, right away or anywhere right on these levels. And actually, I'm gonna go back to the daily to show you guys another fractal from history. It's on BTC against the SPX. It's not on the USD pair. So you had a breakout of all-time highs on BTC against the SPX. All-time highs were manufactured on March 13, 2021. You were not able to break for almost 4 years, Chad. Like 3 years and 8 months, you didn't break the all-time highs, but you just did. And if you go see past history on BTC against the SPX, when you broke all-time highs here on 2017, you went on a 91% run before the first pullback. On 2021, you went on a 50% run before the first pullback here, right here. And this was your first pullback, 50% run. And now, if history was going to repeat itself and the fractal was going to play out, I would be looking like at a diminished, return, because you had 91, then 50. So potentially at least a 20 to 25% run before the first pullback on BTC against the SPX, right? Which gives you BTC at around 19 on 20 on BTC against the SPX. So higher from here, basically. So going vertical for maybe December into January, maybe had some kind of a sell-off before Trump getting into office, potentially bottoming the day Trump gets into office, and then resuming the bull market all the way into Q1 and Q2 of this year, which leads me to show you what I'll be talking about next. And if you've been a Pitbox live stream in Gior for the past few months, then you've seen this chart before, but I'll be glad to show it to you guys now. This is BTC USD on the 6 month, on log scale. So we were talking like right here, basically, like on this 6 month candle and on this 6 month candle, to the similarity that you're watching on 2015, 2016, 2017, from 2023 all the way into 2025. Because you had a bear market here, into a double bottom, right, with a bullish engulfing candle, into a double bottom with a bullish engulfing candle, right? It's the same. Then you had a 3 white soldiers pattern confirmed, 3 white soldiers pattern confirmed here, with the highest 6 month close in history. So we were watching this setup like, at some point this candle was red, August, September was a naughty price action. It seemed that maybe it wasn't going to play out, but I kept my optimism and I told you guys the fractals here. It's the blueprint. It looks so similar. I will be shocked if it doesn't actually play out, right? And look at the performance now. We said you're on this current candle here when you were selling off, and now it looks way more similar, right, to what it was done here to what's actually being manufactured now. So I reckon it's going to play out somewhat similar to what it did here, right? We're going to have a strong close of the year, maybe some kind of a sell-off. Maybe we're not going to close at yearly highs, right? Just like you're watching here, we're going to live some wick. It could be higher from here, right? It could be you live a wick at 130K, whatever. And then the next 6 month candle it's gonna be the top. So the top on this blueprint will be on basically, I mean, you could have some price action just a month after, but it will be on July, chat. It will be the after June ends and going into July, you would have already printed this massive candle here. And everyone, I've seen a lot of consensus on the timeline, comparing this cycle to what happened, in 2020, 2021, where we had that sell off in May, and then we had a cool off in the market, and then we resumed the bull market like in August and went all the way into November into some kind of a double top on 69K. So I've been hearing a lot of people saying like, oh, I'm gonna sell in March and April and go away, then buy in September or whatever, and get the second leg up. But what if the actual blueprint that's playing out is not this, right? It's not 2020, 21, but it's actually this, chat. Late 2017, right, into early 2018. So if this actually happens, it will mean that we're gonna print a massive, candle. I'm not saying we're gonna go to 400K, but maybe into 300K, 250, whatever, just an insane candle here on the next 6 months, and then we'll top, right? Maybe some people will sell too early. They will sell in March, in April, thinking that the summer lull will come, and then I don't know, ultimately top in May, June, whatever, July, right, into this massive candle. People FOMO back in, and then it's over. And then people sell, hoping to buy, once again in September, and then you just get a full year of bearish price action. So yeah, I'm not saying I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know how it's gonna play out. All I can tell you is that this blueprint, this pattern fractal that we've been watching from 2015 all the way into 2018 has been eerily similar, chats. Just too similar to not pay attention. And if this actually continues to play out, then the top could be set here on basically it will be like July 1st of 2025, right, into a brutal bear market lasting a full year of bear market on BTC. I know we have a lot of bullish catalysts, Trump getting into office, Bitcoin National Reserve for the US, whatever. You have like the most crazy narratives going on, but you need that in order to put in a massive candle, the next 6 months, right? And that's maybe price action. The markets are pretty efficient, so maybe all that bullish narrative is going to be condensed on just a 6-month candle going into the final leg up of the market, right, into July 1st top. I know that's not what most people want to hear. I'm not 100% confident or subscribing that idea right now, but I do have to pay attention to it because this fractal and this discovery, it's basically kept me bullish through the entirety of 2024, which is now paying off, and I'm not going to be fading it next year. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be selling in like April or May. I might hold up all the way into potentially June, maybe July, right? And then take profits and see what's up. But I'll be taking a defensive stance after that. Of course, I'll be keeping you guys in touch, but I just wanted to come back here, do another Pete Bucks video series. I hope that you liked the previous one 2 months ago. I'll be doing a lot more now that we're in a bull market. I have a lot of chart setups that I want to share with you guys. Some altcoins that I think that they look pretty good for upside. And I will also giving you guys an update on the setup for BTC in a few more weeks or potentially a month or two. So thanks for watching. Remember to smash that like button on the way out, subscribe, turn on that bell notification button so you know where I'm going live. And that's gonna be it. Peace.